Hola guapas! Hey, sorry it's been a minute since I've done a podcast, but hey, I've been a little busy now. If you are watching this on YouTube, hey, you can see that this is life, and life is absolutely amazing, and it's like not brushing your hair, and your towels hanging out behind you to dry, and the scooters be scooting around all over, and people are cooking back there. There's a restaurant back there, and life is just so good. Now, if you're not watching on YouTube, I want you just to like take a moment and listen. Just take it all in. It is so freaking awesome here. Oh, now, of course, it's quiet now, but you can hear the people talking and the birds chirping and life happening, and it's just so amazing, so amazing. And like I said, I'm just actually the reason I'm doing this is I'm just wanting to document my journey, and I'm sharing it with anybody who's interested. And when something cool comes up, I'll share a story or where I am and what I'm doing. So right now, I'm in Thailand, and I'm on this small island. Like there's tons of islands here. Because I like small island adventures. I really do. Like I've learned a lot about myself over the past couple of years of traveling, and I love small island adventures. But it's got to be the right combination. Like no matter where you go, if it's good, there's going to be lots of tourists. But this island is small. It's so small. There's literally just one road around it, and I love that. But there's beaches everywhere because it's an island. Just crazy gorgeous beaches, except I don't even know if I told you this, but I'm going to tell it again. When I landed on this island, I just booked a little Airbnb or a little room close, like walking distance from the ferry, because I'm like, I just want to walk there. I'm going to explore the island and find out where I want to stay. And so I stayed at this place, which was awesome. The people were fantastic, and it was like in the town, so there's lots of shops, outdoor shops, and all that kind of stuff. And I went out to the beach because, like, I've been planning where can I go that's this island where there's gorgeous beaches and happy people and just good times. And I went to the beach, and I was so like, what is happening? The beach was gross. Actually, it was gross. I'm just gonna say it. There was like garbage on the beach, and there was nobody on the beach, and it wasn't soft sand. It was like full of shells and hard to walk on. I'm like, what have I done? Oh my God, I made a huge mistake. Anyway, what I realized later was that that's like just one of the, it's not a nice beach because that's kind of like a port, right? So that's where all the boats come in and that kind of stuff, and that's not where you go to hang out. What you do is you rent a scooter or you borrow a bicycle from the place where you're staying, and you ride 3 minutes on a bicycle, and you're at this most gorgeous beach you've ever seen, and there's hardly anybody on it. And then you go 5 minutes down the road, and there's a bigger beach, and it's like this kind of people are on it, and they're doing these kinds of things, and this kind of restaurant is so amazing. So when I first arrived, I was like, what have I done? And then I'm like, wow, this is, and the longer I stay here, the more amazing it becomes. I moved from that place to where I am now, which is this place that I have my own little room. Like it's a little bungalow. Super basic. I have this porch here with a table, and then I have a room. It's quite a big room. There's no AC, so it's a fan. It's hot here, hot, hot, hot. And I have my own bathroom. No hot water. You don't need hot water because it's hot and you want to cool down. And I'm literally a 30-second walk to the beach. And I'm on a main drag. There's like tons of places to stay and places to eat and people coming and going. It's just so freaking awesome. And the people where I'm staying is just amazing. Like I love, love, love my new place. And so much so that I keep extending. I'm like, can I stay more days? And luckily they still have my room. So we'll see if I can stay here for longer. If not, all I do is like just walk down a side street and start asking people if they have a room to rent. It's so fabulous. Or somebody knows somebody. It's a cool community. Anyway, I totally got sidetracked. What I wanted to do is I wanted to share the super cool experience that I had, and I'm going to dedicate this to my tennis partner, Arnab, because he's going to love this. This is specifically for him because he's really, really going to appreciate this. Now, when I was staying at my other place, there's this place called, I can't remember what it is. It's like an outdoor eating place. So there's like a ton. There's rows and rows and rows of vendors, and they have whatever it is they're making. They're making their potatoes or their fish or whatever, and you just walk and you have a little bit of this. That's where I got food poisoning the other time. But I don't give up. They have the best baked potatoes. It's so insane. Baked potatoes, and they throw in some butter and salt, and that's one of my favorite dishes. Anyway, every time I go there, like there's a whole bunch of outdoor seating, and it's always packed. So every time I go there, I meet new people because I have to sit with other people. If I have a table, people ask to sit with me. If I can't find anywhere to sit, I'll ask to sit with other people. So you always have a, that was where I met my first Canadian. Anyway, always people to talk to. And so lo and behold, I'm like, I didn't want to go there on that night, but I thought, I have to try a Thai pancake. Like they make these pancakes and they fill it, I had with banana, but they fill it with all sorts of crazy stuff and did not disappoint. It was amazing. And as I was sitting eating this pancake, I didn't want to come here, I didn't want to eat this. This woman and her daughter, they asked me in Swedish if they could sit down, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know what she said, but the gestures were there, and I answered in English, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was speaking in Swedish, I didn't even realize that you don't speak Swedish. And we had the best conversation. She was so sweet. Even her daughter, who was like, I think 13, 14, just like so sweet. And she's like, I come here every year. We've been coming here for 30 years. My parents live here, and I know all this stuff. So if you have any questions, let me know. And she started sharing with me all these cool things. And then she looked at me and she's like, what do you like to do? Like what, when you're not eating or at the beach, what do you like to do? And I said, well, I thought, I don't know if I should say this because what point? Because I really, really, really tried to find a place to play tennis here. I didn't bring my racket because my last experiences, I had to lug it around. I barely used it. I'm like, forget it. I'm not bringing it. But here, there's one tennis court, and it's at a resort. And I messaged them, and they're like, sorry, it's only for our guests, this tennis court. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. And I was looking on the map, and somewhere it said, oh, there's another tennis court. There's a tennis court on the island, but there was no, it's not a community tennis court. There's no opening hours or closing out. I don't know, what's going on? And it said permanently closed. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it looks like I'm going to be learning something, a new skill or something while I'm here, because I won't be playing tennis. Anyway, my new Swedish friend is like, what do you like to do? And I said, I'm kind of obsessed with tennis, but I haven't been able to find anywhere. As soon as I say that, the girls looked at each other and locked eyes, and they had this huge smile on their face. I'm like, what just happened? What's going on? And she said, actually, my boyfriend is a tennis instructor. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I hit the jackpot. She goes, yes, and there's this one tennis court on the island that's it was privately built by this couple. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, they built a tennis court at their house? She's like, yeah. And they're Canadian. I'm like, oh, are you for real right now? I was so excited. She was getting more excited because it was just, everything was lining up. I'm like, this is the best day ever. I wasn't even going to come to this place to have dinner, and here I am meeting my Swedish hookup. She was such a gem. She told me about all the places and all the people, and she's like, here, just message my boyfriend and he will set something up for you. I'm like, this is the best day ever. But she looked at me and she said, listen, I gotta be honest with you. Like, he's a coach, but he's not coaching anybody. He's not training here because he can't. I'm like, okay. I later came to find out, like, the island changed the rules on people coaching who weren't from here. It's really strange because there's only one tennis court. It's the weirdest rule ever, but he actually can't coach because if he does, he could get, go to jail or kicked off the island. It's strange. I don't know. So I will not ask him to coach me. Although, could you imagine if I had, a coach, and it was just like my dream come true. So minus him, but he hooked me up with the couple, and then they had another Swedish girl come who's around my age and is obsessed with tennis too, and we had the best game. I'm telling you, we went out early in the morning because you got to go before the sun comes up because it gets hot here, and we had the best game. It was so much fun. I was just in heaven. I couldn't stop smiling. I'm like, you built a tennis court. And he had a whole rack of tennis rackets. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just so happy to be here. What kind of tennis racket should I have? And so he hooked me up, and he has like there was like a clubhouse. He built a clubhouse. Like, it wasn't on his property. It was like just down the road from his property, but it was just a tennis court and a clubhouse with a bathroom and the rackets and a place to, like, a sink, and just a place to put your shoes on and off, and you could sit there and watch other people. But you guys, I can't even, best day ever. And then after that, they're like, oh, we're going to go for coffee and meet up with a couple of other Canadian friends. Would you like to join us? And I'm like, oh, yes, I would really like to join you. And so we went to this they're all the restaurants on the beach, and they're like, this is our friend that owns this. And it was so lovely, like the restaurant. So it's a young couple that owns it. And when they bought it, it had been like shut down, desolate for like 5 years. So when they bought it, they had to start from scratch, you know, and redo everything. But they made it into this beautiful restaurant, and they have yoga there now, and they have places to stay and all that. And we had the best. And so the other Canadian couple came, and they were even more lovely. Like, the people just keep getting more and more lovely. And we had an awesome conversation and some breakfast and on the beach. And then Lori, the new lady's like, hey, well, because here in Europe and here they celebrate Christmas Eve, not Christmas. That's when the big party is. So she's like, what are you doing for Christmas? And I'm like, well, I'm not really celebrating Christmas. You know, I came here to not have to celebrate Christmas. And she's like, well, we're doing a little something on the beach. If you please come and join us. And my son will be joining us. And, you know, they'll be like, there's 5 of us. Why not 6? Like, that's not a problem. Because they know the people that own the German restaurant. And they're like, it's our favorite restaurant. And so that's awesome. I'm in. And then we chat and have the best time. And then I come back to my new little place, and I'm sitting here on this minding my business, doing some work. And then all of a sudden, like, my neighbor shows up, like, same thing, right? He's like 10 feet away from me, and he shows up, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, how are you? And start this conversation with this handsome neighbor that I have. And he comes over, and we start chatting, and then he goes, wait, I have a present for you. And he brought me fruit, and we were eating some local fruit that I had never had before, I'd never seen before, and it was so delicious. And we had the best conversation. We totally, completely hit it off. And I had rented a scooter because I had to use a scooter to get to tennis. And so we chatted for a while. I don't know, it seemed like forever. It was a wonderful time. And then I decided I was going to go, like, check out the beaches because I have the scooter. And I was on my way out, and he was in his house. He said, where are you going? What are you doing? And I'm like, I was going to go, down the coast. He's like, I'll come with you. Let's go. And he had a scooter, so we went booting, scooting. He's like, I want to show you this beach. And we went to the beach where we had coconut water out of the coconuts, and the monkeys were stealing the coconuts, and even better conversation. Then we went to another place, and then we had to come back because we had to swim in the ocean and then shower and get ready for the night out. And I'm like, what are you doing tonight? And he's like, nothing, because he was also a solo traveler, and he was actually leaving the next day. And so I said, well, maybe I can ask and you can come for dinner with us. And he's like, that would be fantastic. So I asked, and of course, being the fabulous Canadians that they are, they're like, sure, bring your friend. That, like, the more the merrier. And so we had our fun scooting around and then swimming in the ocean, and then we met up to go on our little date. We went on we went together on a scooter, and we show up at the restaurant, and the guys had brought bocce, so we played bocce on the beach while the sun set, and then we had our dinner and got to know each other and laugh and drink. It was just lovely. And then after that, they're all like, okay, we'll see you later, because they're like 70, 80 years old. They're like, see you later. And we're like, what should we do now? And he's like, come with me. I have some places to show you. And we went scooting up and down the island, and because this was the night where there was fireworks and fire shows. And so we just kind of went from like one place to another. And every night there's a different party. You just have to know where it is. Like, because it's a small island, there's only one party, and it changes every day of the week. And so he's like, it was here last night. We went there, and it was like, nobody was there. It was like not even a thing. But he's like, look, there were the torches. This is where we were last night. So anyway, we ended up at karaoke. We had so much fun. We played pool, we went dancing, and we watched the fireworks on the beach. It was like the best night ever. And like from nothing, I didn't even have any plans besides tennis that day. And then all the fireworks, all the fire shows, just like, and we were just bumming around on the beach. It was so fantastic. It was the best day ever. And then unfortunately the next day he left, so boo-hoo. But I met a ton of people since, like a new group of friends, and like somebody that I can hang out with, you know, somebody who likes to do the same things as me and we're on the same page. And so it's always nice to have a buddy when you want to hang out with somebody. Okay. That's another story. I'm going to tell you this one in my next podcast because it's podcast worthy. It was so fun. But the whole reason of this story was just to be like something that appears out of nothing. Just when you're open to trying new things, or you just don't have any expectations, fun shit happens. Like, I had the best day from beginning to end, and I really didn't have any plans for that day. So it was so lovely. And the reason I'm so excited now is because I got a text and then invited to play tennis tonight. So I'm so excited, so excited. So I rent a scooter, and then we play at 5:30 because that's when the sun kind of starts to go down because it's hot. So we gotta find the time. It's either before the sun comes up and then just as it comes up, or just as it's going down and then until. But actually, I noticed when I was there, he has outdoor lights. He's got lights, but I think the bugs come out. But we'll see how it goes because this is like totally dialed in. He's got the perfect outdoor lights and it's all fenced in, and oh my God, guys, I just can't even. It's so perfect here. And that was the one thing that was missing from this island, is like, because I'm like, if I could play tennis every single day, I would. If I could get lessons every day, I would. But it just didn't pan out. So I'm like, that's the only downfall. And then it just all fell into place. And so that's why this is so magical for me. You just never know. You never know. You'll always find what you're looking for, and anything is possible. It's just so lovely when you're just kind of going with the flow. Like just you're just a little leaf floating in the breeze, going wherever the breeze takes you, and being open to new experiences. The best. It's so easy to meet people here, actually, which is even crazier. The locals are just so kind and friendly, and it's such a nice little community with all the tourists and the locals, and it's just so I know, but it's just so incredibly lovely. So I'm on cloud nine because I get to go play tennis with my new friends on the private tennis court. And then I booked a massage for tomorrow because I had heard, like when I'm doing my research, I'm like, what are the best things? I made a list of all the best things to do. And there was this one massage place. And these people who were professional masseurs and all that, they're like, you have to come to this place. It's amazing. So I'm like, I got to do that. And then my new friend, he also is like a physiotherapist, osteopath, like knows his stuff. He's like, oh, there's this place where you have to go to get massage. You can't go anywhere else. And it was the same place that I had on my list. So got that booked for tomorrow. And he's also like, you can't go for 1 hour. You can't. You got to go for 2. So I'm like, okay, like say less. So I booked that. We're both going to go tomorrow and get a 2-hour massage from this crazy awesome. And it was funny because I have a new group of friends. We were hanging out and we told this guy, our new friend, about this place, and he was booking it as we were talking. And then next time we saw him, he was like, yes, 1,000%. It was insane. And I booked my next appointment right after the first one. And I'm going to make it for 2 hours. So we learned our lessons. But that's the story that I wanted to share. Just like how something can come from nothing, and just being open. Just literally being open to anything. Open and curious. That's my new motto. Well, I hope that if nothing else, this put a smile on your face. I know my tennis partner, Arnab, I know that he'll be smiling. He'll be like, girl, you go, girl. And he would probably be happy if I could take a lesson or two so I could get a little bit better. But nonetheless, I'm working on it, my friend. Anyway, so I really, 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 really honestly hope that this in some way has just warmed your heart or made you smile. That's what it's all about. I'm just trying to, do this podcast and share my adventures for me, so that when I look back on it, I'm like, oh yeah, I had forgotten about that. And if you want to come along for the ride, I am so happy to have you with me. So as always, thank you for listening. Always, always, always love yourself first and have a freaking awesome day, because I know I'm going to go crush it on the court. Hasta luego.